Hey, Happy New Year. Yes, I know I'm late as hell.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Oh, I'm late. I'm sorry. I get it. It's the 14th of the month. I know. I'm late.
Yeah, no, we get it.
But look, it's not like I missed much. Our New York Knicks are third in the East. It's nothing to worry about, right? Like, everything is going good. The Knicks record right now is phenomenal. Jalen Brunson having a good year. Karl Anthony Towns second in rebounding, but should be first. Everything is good. Like, there's nothing to be worried about. Right?
Nobody tell him.
If I didn't know better, you'd think that the sky is falling. Knicks fans are just as disgruntled with the Knicks' current record as they have been in the past when we were talking about who we were going to draft or if we were going to land the likes of Zion Williamson. It feels like it's the same kind of energy coming from Knicks fans right now. It's a weird time, but do those upset, disgruntled fans have an argument, and am I one of them? But we gonna talk about it. I haven't said this in a while and I'm losing my voice, but run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. That's right, we're finally back. 2025, your boy finally uploaded. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to like this video. We're trying to get to 30K right around the corner. Let's see if we can get to 30K before the end of the season, all right? I believe in y'all. I believe in myself, but I gotta do the work. Let's get it. But for real, like, it feels like it's such a weird time to be a New York Knicks basketball fan, right? It feels weird right now. The Knicks are playing solid offensive basketball. I mean, we're at the top of the league in offensive rating. We got Karl Anthony Towns having a way better season than he did in Minnesota just last year when he was on arguably the best team in the West that just came up short of going to the finals. He's having an even better year this year. Everything's great. Oh, did I mention Jalen Brunson, Captain Brunson, who, yeah, might have taken just a slight step down on some of his stats, but still doing what he does. 44 points in a night. He's tied with Carmelo Anthony in 40-point games in Knicks history, third ever. Like, everything should be good on paper if you're a Knicks fan. But if you just log on to one blog, one social media site, watch one YouTube video, or hell, even tune in to one of the amazing Knicks Fan TV post games, you would think that the Knicks are where we were about 4 or 5 years ago, tanking and looking to try and draft Zion Williamson. It's a weird time right now, but the thing is, I'm not here to blame or say anything to those people. I'm here to just ask the question, do they have a point? I mean, outside of all those phenomenal stats that we just mentioned, the Knicks have also had this run, well, predominantly against terrible teams, because though our current record might be 26-15, when it comes to the top tier teams in the NBA right now, the Knicks unfortunately haven't been holding their own. I mean, just against any team that's 500 or higher, the Knicks are currently 9-13 against them. If we're talking about any of the top 8 teams right now, the Knicks are 4-7 against them. There's a lot of conversations to be had. I mean, we remember the blowout to the Boston Celtics. We had a good game against the Pacers, but then immediately got destroyed by the Pacers the next time we saw them. Can't beat the Hawks. Like, there's a lot of games and a lot of teams that we should be matched up with. We don't even want to talk about OKC that I can go down this rabbit hole with. There's a lot of things that I feel like are pushing Knicks fans in the direction of being more upset with this team than actually enjoying the ride. And the conversation that's going on between Knicks fan bases against one another is, are they being overly critical or do they have an argument? And every time I want to go out there, and if you watch the play-by-play with me, you know that I'm going back. I'm fighting back on it. But every time I want to go back on it, there's a part of me that does understand where these fans that are upset are coming from.
The sky is falling! The sky is falling!
There's a few issues and a few worries that come with this roster that I feel like right now, I think we're weathering a storm, but the big thing with Knicks fans that we moved on from just having good seasons and having good runs. We saw it in 21, we saw it in 22, we saw it last year. We've seen the Knicks go on these runs, but I think what worries fans is the way that things have ended for us every single time. We get to the playoffs and we either burn out out, injury strikes, and we don't reach the potential of where we're supposed to be. Last year, a lot believed that we should have been in that Eastern Conference final, but we did not get that far. So I think Knicks fans are already looking forward and looking past the greatness that has been going on this year, because they see that this team is just, well, incomplete. I mean, again, there are those things that, for devil's advocate and for argument reasons, I'm sorry for those who aren't going to agree with this, and I don't necessarily all the way agree with it, but it is a point to be made. There are some things that the Knicks have a very big glaring issue on. Number one, bench. The bench right now is averaging close to nothing. I mean, the last 2 games we saw Campaign, Deuce McBride give us some good effort off the bench, but for the most part, we've seen games where the Knicks will only score about 8 points off the bench, and the starters doing most of the work. That is nowhere near the identity or what we have done in recent seasons. Some of those top tier teams, even the Boston Celtics, who have a great 1 team and 2 team because their bench is just as solid as their starting unit. You know, the Knicks feel like it feels like for the Knicks, they took a step back on that side of things, where the second unit just does not live up to par. I feel like there's an argument amongst Knicks fans about, you know, wanting to play the bench more. The Knicks should give the guys more opportunities and stuff like that, but there could be an argument that maybe the guys we just have right now might not even really be good enough to be in for as more time than they're actually getting. I'd say that with peace and love. I mean, you really look at it. Do you think a lineup of Landry Shamet, Campaign, Precious Achiuwa, Deuce McBride, do you think that 4 has the same kind of strength as the benches we've had in the past? We've had some pretty dope benches, and I feel like the bench did get dumbed down a little bit, whether it's because of trades or because of contracts and whatever the case may be. I think that's probably one of the most glaring issues that I feel like a lot of Knicks fans just believe that that's going to be what's going to kill us, because where the bench isn't that great, it comes to the fact where we have 4 Knicks from our starting lineup. No, sorry, 3 Knicks from our starting lineup in the top 3, or sorry, in the top 4 in the NBA in minutes played. Again, in recent years, the Knicks have fallen short in our playoff runs because of injuries, because we would fall apart because of tired legs. That's what people are arguing right now. So they're already looking past anything that's going good right now because they feel like we gonna be dead by April. Again, I'm speaking on the arguments. I will give my opinion on where I'm at. Yet right now, I'm just putting out everything on the field that is being argued and why there's so much disgruntledness going on amongst Knicks fans that I've been seeing in the few weeks since I posted my last video. Outside of all those points, negatively and positively, where do you stand before I even go forward? What's your thoughts? Like, let it be known, this is a safe place. We just came off of a very annoying loss against Detroit. Hell, we're coming off of a very annoying few weeks of basketball, losing to the likes of the Chicago Bulls, a beat up Orlando Magic, the we beat the Toronto Raptors, almost lost them when the bench came in, but the Detroit Pistons yesterday, OKC got us twice. Aaron Wiggins was the hero the first time, and then they blew us out the second time. A weird stretch of basketball games right now for whatever the reason may be. But where do you lie? Do you feel like the New York Knicks right now just are not a good enough team? Yes, they're good enough because we have the star power to win and maintain throughout the season. But are you looking ahead into the playoffs already where you're just like, CK, we can be good for the season, but we're not going to do anything when it comes to playoffs. We might be a first round, second round exit, and that's the way you choose to look at it.
Well, I think we're better than we were when we first started. The first month of the season, second month better. And then, you know, there's a long way to go. And that's why, like, I think from a mentality standpoint of focusing on daily improvement with the understanding that you want to be playing your best at the end. And there's a lot of challenges throughout the course of the season. So there's ups and downs, and you have to handle that. You got to get through things together. But you never can lose sight of how important it is to improve every day. And then hopefully in the end, you're playing your best basketball. So there's still a lot of things that we can do better and we have to lock into. Which
leads me to where I stand on it. I feel like, you know, because we've been winning for the first time in a long while the last few years, I feel like Knicks fans now are already forgetting where we were. Yes, I will say the ultimate goal is championship. That is it. That is what we want. We haven't had a championship since the 70s. I've never seen one in my lifetime. There's some amazing Knicks fans that have, but are waiting and willing and wanting to see one again. But I feel like you have to still enjoy the journey. You still have to have that belief, have that optimism that there could be something that can happen. That's the beauty of the NBA. I feel like if you go into these kind of things pessimistic, skeptic, whatever the case may be, then that takes away the joy of fandom. I feel like even back when we knew we weren't a good team, but we had any type of run, and there was just that belief that we could just get the 8th seed and maybe we can do something with it if we get in. Like, I miss that kind of vibe. I'm still that kind of kid. Call it naive, call it whatever you want to call it. You can be what kind of fan you want to be. I know some of you are impatient, but to me, I choose to look at it like that. Now, if I'm also being realistic, I've said it at the beginning of the year. I've made it very clear how I feel about the team. I do believe that the Knicks' real push for a championship is not until next year and going on. For the mere fact that we just made 2 big trades that got rid of some key pieces. We brought in 2 major players that are going to be major parts of our rotation going forward that are still relatively new to a system with Tom Thibodeau. I know Cat's played here before, but he hasn't played with a guy like Jalen Brunson. He hasn't played with guys like OG, Hart, and Mikal Bridges, and that goes to then Mikal Bridges, who went from being a number 1 to going back to possibly a 3-4 in this rotation, and now you got the pressure of being traded for a bunch of picks. So Knicks fans are always in his DMs and doing things and rocking. I feel like it's going to be a season of learning one another, and then once we get a full training camp with one another, we have a good off season where we know what holes we need to fit, whether it's through the draft, whether it's through free agency and players that we can afford. I think that's when we come together and start to see the actual rotation that we can start to put together for a championship. Anything can happen this year. Hate it or love it, anything can happen. But my true feelings and beliefs are starting next year is when we got to start making that conversation of contender, playoff push. We're going all the way starting next year. To even be where we're at right now, 3rd in the East, right behind Boston. Yes, we, 3rd in the East, right behind Boston, top in scoring, things that we have not done in the past. I'm enjoying that. I really am enjoying that. Do I have my moments where I worry about, the little things like the bench production, us not being able to take out, top level teams that we should be beating, or at least be in a fight with, but it looks like we're just playing 2 different styles of basketball. Yes, I do have those worries. I make that known. But I don't choose to be completely, the sky is falling when it comes to us dropping those kind of games. Anything can happen. NBA is so unpredictable. Anything is possible. But truthfully, my belief is if there's any kind of championship push, it's not going to be until next year. There's still a lot that needs to be put together. Right now, we just enjoy the ride, stay on task, win the games, be where we're at, 3rd seed team, so on and so forth, and we see what happens next. But that's my opinion. Don't kill me for it. The same way I'm gonna try my best not to kill y'all for your opinions when you tell me in the comment section below where you're at. Believe, disbelief, hate it, love it, want to be over with. Knicks ain't going nowhere. I want to hear everything and anything you have to say in the comment section below about the Knicks right now. But what do you think, man? Do you think that the Knicks just aren't ready yet? Do you think that the Knicks right now are pretending more than we're actually showing any chance of contending? What are your thoughts? Let me know everything you believe in the comment section below, and I'm gonna go through there and try and respond to as many as possible. But it's been your boy CK. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to like this video. I've been jabbering on for a long period of time. I missed y'all. It's been a while since I made videos, but we're here. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say. But I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Let's get it. New York Knicks, man, we gotta get it together. We got a tough stretch of games coming up. Let's get into it. I'm out of here. Y'all be easy. Peace.